Hey everybody, I'm XIV88 here on YouTube, and we welcome you to a brand new segment as I talk about high school football in central Pennsylvania. Particular District 4, Class A. Not only that, I talk about Line Mtn football, my alma mater. So, what am I doing with this? Well, actually, let me just move this down here. Move this camera right here. This would be a better angle. Alright. So what are we doing, say, with this? Oh, well, we'll just take a look here, and I'm just going to erase all of this, and then I'm just going to rewrite it after I tried to do it on my previous attempt at making this video. So what I got now is a whiteboard I bought from Family Dollar, and I've got a dry eraser and a marker. Now, I'm going to be doing this for not only engineering problems, but also be talking about football, and I'll talk about different topics. Alright, today's topic. Line Mtn just won against, we had Line Mtn. Let's first of all talk about Line Mtn. We'll forget about the whole Line Mtn to win the TVC thing, but let's talk about my alma mater right here. Line Mtn, we won. We are 5-1. We're 5-0 in the TVC, or should I say Twin Valley Conference. And our wins, so we had in week 1 we had a loss to Southern Columbia. And then we had 4 consecutive wins over Nativity, Williams Valley, Newport, Millersburg, and just recently Tri-Valley. So there's your 5 right now. Those your conference wins right now. We have 3 more games left on the season, and that is at UDA, Upper Dauphin, then we got Halifax at East Juniata, and we end the year at Pine Grove area. I consider this to have a win. I consider East Juniata a win. These 2 games I'm more concerned with. Well, let's just... Alright, now we're just going to... That's how... We'll erase this part. We're going to erase this for... right now, and we're just going to go to a new topic. And same thing about Line Mtn, but let's just say for now, okay, Line Mtn's 5-0, the only undefeated team in the Twin Valley Conference. We have one other team that has 1 loss in the Twin Valley Conference, and that's Pine Grove. So, what does this mean for us in the last 4 weeks of the regular season? Portraying, okay, let's talk about this. For Line Mtn to win the TVC, to share, at least to share a conference, to share the TVC, here's the first thing. They must win the next 2 games. must win next two. They must win the next 2 games. One of them is going to be, next week coming up is simple. We got Upper Dauphin and then Halifax. Halifax might be a little a little test. This is the most, well, this step right here is to share. Must win next 2 and 2 lose to Pine Grove. Do you really think that I want Line Mtn to lose to Pine Grove? Wrong chicken. So, instead of to win the share of a conference championship, we want to win TVC outright. Alright, to win it outright, we of course, the first key is, the first step from sharing must be in play. The second part, we win the next 2. Then we have to have Pine Grove area lose 1 game in TVC play. And they are they didn't play yet. They're going to play tonight. So here's what they are. They have Upper Dauphin, so that should be a given victory. Then they're at Halifax, and they have Nativity. Nativity BVM, and then they're at Williams Valley. That is before our meeting. I consider this to be a victory, and I consider that to be a victory. This, I put a big question mark, because Williams Valley was one of the other teams that was considered for the Twin Valley Conference Championship. They could be a dark horse to defeat Pine Grove. But, say if that became a question mark, that question mark became a win. If this fails, then this must come down to an ultimatum. Third step. Line Mtn must and I'm going to underline it twice, must beat Pine Grove area. For us to be considered in the Twin Valley Conference Championship game, we don't have a conference championship game like college does. Some college balls conferences like today, the Big 12 and the Big 10, or soon to be the Big 10, soon the Pac-10, the ACC, the SEC, whatever. But this is the big step right here. This is the first step. The second step is probably a question. The second and third step kind of co-align. If these 3 don't work, this must come down to this game. That is for any chance for the Line Mtn Eagles to win the Twin Valley Conference Championship. It is in our grasp. 1 loss by Pine Grove. We must win. First of all, we must get the 2 wins out of the way, the next 2 games out of the way with victories, in order to share the conference championship. From there on, we can worry about Pine Grove for 2 weeks. East Juniata is a non-conference game, but it means, and we'll all talk about more about that later in depth when we talk about the district championship terms for the District 4 Class A playoffs. All right. So I hope you have this little history lesson. And ooh, did I hear? Well, never mind about that. But anyway, hope you have fun, and hope this is fun for you. Of course, you can rate. Oh, there you go. There was just some good news here. South Carolina just scored on Alabama. First. Wow, unbelievable. Okay, so you can rate, you can like, and you can subscribe at youtube.com/XIV88. Of course, you can look at the video. Of course, there is on the top of the window box. There's a subscribe button. You can subscribe. You can like anywhere. You can add to your favorites, whatever. But if you're a football fan and you're a Central Pennsylvania football fan, you subscribe to me at XIV88. Alright, catch you later. I'm XIV88, signing out. We'll see you for another history lesson coming your way.